Hello, back on track with the Mirror song. Been a good while since I've looked at this one, and that means when I've come back to it, I'm hearing it with fresh ears. So I've been newly inspired this week, put some new guitar work down. In fact, there are three new sections to talk about. We've got a guitar solo in the middle, the simplest, fewest note quotient guitar solo I've ever played, and I'm so proud of it. I really love it. That's that. We've got a second guitar arpeggio line at the end, which again I'm really happy with, and then this chordal thing here, which there's a whole separate conversation to be had about that. I'm really excited about what's happened here. At the moment it's like a bell sound that's forming three-part harmonies, but I'll play the song as it is and then we'll come back and talk about it. There's lots to discuss there. Because the first part of the song is completely unchanged, I'm actually just going to jump into it really brutally here. Go back and listen to the rest of it at any point if you want, but this is the new stuff.
Calling, still she dares to whisper this could be the night, but a foolish girl reflects back in the unforgiving light. Just one time she wants to feel her heart run wild with love's reveal. Maybe next time.
Okay, so let's do them each one at a time. The solo. This is two identically mirrored parts, panned hard left and right. I don't usually do any panning during the writing of the song, but because they're identical parts, I feel confident and comfortable to do so because I know that's what's going to happen in the mix. There's no possibility they're going to go anywhere else. They were deliberately played in order to be panned exactly this way, so there's no point in not doing it now. artifacts in there, I'm okay with it. Because it has the feel, even there's a little bit of like ringing there at the end. That's a bit naughty, but I'm not re-recording it because in the context of the song, when it's not soloed, you don't hear any of that. It's just one of those happy moments. The session in which I recorded them, I just felt really good. It felt right, and I'm not going to mess with it or try to re-record it. So that came in maybe 20 minutes of just looped it round. In fact, I did it in 2 sections. Did the initial section, and then there's a little tail at the end with a slightly different motif. Round and round and round. Figure out what the notes were. They came very, very quickly, and I very quickly realised that it needed to be a simple, not flowery solo. And then once I'd learned the two, bang them both together. Maybe the second or third take, they were just done. So pretty rare for me to come up with a solo that quickly that I'm that happy with, that they're the right notes. So there's not much to say there. It's one of those things where, because everything else sounds so nice, it was really easy and comfortable to play those solos. And there was a big level up a few weeks ago or a couple of months ago now, I think, when I reintroduced my GT100 back into the fray. I'd previously been fully in the box and using Amplitude and internal VSTs to get my guitar sound, but my GT100 has a preset that I absolutely adore in there, which is that. I think it's almost completely unedited. Completely unedited. Is there a compressor on the bus? There you go. Little bit of compression and echo boy delay, but that's essentially the sound that you're hearing. That's straight out of the GT100. Utterly marvellous. This thing down here, I've just today made a video where I talk about how I built these melody lines. It's talk about, I'm using the same term, level up, but this is a real quantum leap for me. I've just figured out how to do harmonies. So even though here you're listening to bell sounds, there's something really suspicious about the note range here. All of these notes lie inside Pauline's vocal range. So this is going to be 3 different guide vocal lines to have sung harmonies over the top. Now, not exactly as you see. There's a process that I've gone through whereby that's one form of the harmonies, but I've also done a thing where I squash all the 3 tracks together and then extract them out: high note, middle note, low note. So I've basically reordered the playing of those 3 notes to build 3 lines that are more vocally consistent, so you don't get this kind of thing with your huge acrobatics jumping up basically a full octave, which, you know, can be done and sometimes sounds great. Somewhere Over the Rainbow, you know, has a full octave leaping, one of my favourite pieces of music of all time. But for the purposes of singing background melodies, it's better if the notes are closer together. So I've duplicated or merged all those 3 tracks together and then written a little logical editor preset to extract them out: low note, mid note, high note. And I've done a completely separate video on that, which I'll be posting very soon, sometime this week. So it's really a kind of a companion video to this, because even though I've talked about it as a separate concept, how to build 3-part harmonies in songs, this is the playground in which the discovery's been made. And it's pretty straightforward. It's scale correction. Completely fantastic. I've never used it before. I don't know why I've never used it before, because it is absolutely awesome. But you basically take a root note, whatever the root note of your original melody. Say this original melody, this track here that's muted, that was the melody as played in. toyed with strings before I settled on bell. So I wrote this background melody, which was designed to be a harmony, and then I thought, well, hang on a minute, there's two different ways I can go here. I can make strings, bells, whatever, but I can also turn this into guidelines for sung harmonies. And then when I was trying to think, well, how do I add a perfect fifth onto all of these? You know, where are my harmonies going to come from? Do I have to build 3 separate melody lines, which is what I've done for previous songs? I think, well, if you transpose 7 semitones and use scale correction and set it to B major, which is the key of the song, then Cubase is going to work out for you where the closest note is to 7 semitones away, and you're going to get perfect fifths. So this is huge. Now I've got a completely open-ended harmony pool to work with. All I have to do is come up with a single harmony melody, and then I can explode it out into major thirds and perfect fifths, and suddenly I've got 3-part harmonies to play with. And by moving all of the notes to within the singable range, so anything that falls below or above that singable range, I'm literally just moving up or down by an octave. Everything now sits in the vocal range, and you're also kind of inadvertently introducing inversions into the chords as well, and you can play with these things to your heart's content and build up more and more variations with really simple kind of harmonically strong notes. They're all thirds and fifths, and they sound great together. What a joy that's been. A real discovery. I think I'm going to use this an awful lot. So that's Mirror Song back up and running. Hopefully going to get these harmonies sung tonight, and then very, very close to finished with this one. I'm still umming and ahhing as to whether or not there's going to be a percussion track at all. Obviously there isn't at the moment, but if there isn't, then I'm going into the mixing phase, and this one's going to be finished fairly soon because I just love the sound of it. That's all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider subscribing, hit notifications, then you'll find out when the partner video to this one comes out. Hope to see you there. Thanks very much.